There is a specific kind of exhaustion that comes from modern life. It is that severe, overwhelming burnout, where the primal urge to drop all your responsibilities and run away to a quiet place feels entirely logical. Thousands of years ago, a warrior named Arjuna stood on the edge of a massive battlefield, paralyzed by that exact same urge. Facing a terrifying duty, he questioned the entire logic of engaging in stressful, destructive action. He poses a brilliant paradox to his charioteer, Krishna. If attaining inner wisdom and peace is the ultimate goal, why are we forced to participate in a brutal, exhausting world to get there? This is the core tension of the human experience. We constantly crave tranquility, yet reality demands relentless, inescapable participation. Our instinct is usually false renunciation. We assume that moving to a remote cabin or quitting a stressful job will automatically generate a peaceful mind. But Krishna points out a biological and cosmic reality called prakriti, or nature. It is physically impossible to exist for a single millisecond without acting. Even when you lie perfectly still, your cells are rapidly dividing, your lungs are pumping, and your neurons are firing. Physical stillness paired with a mind obsessing over desires creates an internal bondage more taxing than the work itself. Sitting motionless while the mind remains in turmoil offers no relief from the weight of existence. If biological and psychological escape are physically impossible, true freedom cannot be found by altering whether we act. We have to entirely rewire how and why we act. This requires a shift in our operating logic. Krishna calls it karma yoga, the discipline of performing necessary, rigorous action entirely free from any attachment to the personal reward. To understand this, you have to look at the concept of yajna, or sacrifice. The universe operates as a massive cooperative cycle where every element is explicitly designed to nourish another. Water feeds the earth feeds the plants feed us. This interconnected loop was established at the start of the current cycle of creation to guarantee mutual survival and prosperity. It is the fundamental programming of reality. The system glitches when an individual acts purely to extract value for themselves without giving anything back. In this framework, acting selfishly makes you functionally a parasite, stealing from a cycle you refuse to support. When we act purely to extract value, we tether our mental state to external outcomes we cannot control. This dependency creates constant friction with the world's cooperative design, manifesting as the chronic anxiety we feel when things don't go our way. This brings us to loka sangraha, the strict necessity of acting to hold the fabric of the world together. You might wonder why a fully enlightened master, or even a divine entity who desires absolutely nothing from the material world, still has to engage with it. They do not need money, status, or security, yet they must still wake up and execute flawless, rigorous work. The reason is sociological. The masses naturally mimic the actions of the elite and the wise. If those who have achieved clarity decide to withdraw from society and do nothing, the rest of the world follows their example. The collective structure collapses into chaos. Maintaining the structural integrity of the world becomes a profound responsibility for the wise, acting as the pillar that prevents collective collapse. So let's ask the critical diagnostic question. If we know that contributing peacefully is good for us, what invisible force drags us into selfish, exhausting behavior against our own will? Krishna identifies two viruses infecting the human mind: kama, insatiable desire, and krodha, anger. Together, they act as an unfillable void, thick smoke suffocating the clear flame of our wisdom. This diagram maps the infection's route. It targets the outermost perimeter first, our raw senses, looking for cravings. Once established, it breaches our analytical processing center, the mind. Finally, it overtakes the intellect itself, hijacking our ability to reason and making us prisoners of desire. Our own insatiable cravings for the fruits of our labor act as the primary disruptor of peace, hijacking the intellect from within and making external duties feel unbearable. To defeat kama, this ancient text offers a precise mechanism, aggressively attack your attachment to the results rather than attacking the work itself. This relies heavily on svadharma, your intrinsic duty. You have to locate the specific responsibilities that naturally belong to you based on your situation and character and lean into them rather than imitating someone else's life. Executing your own messy, imperfect duty is vastly superior and much safer than flawlessly executing a path that doesn't belong to you. You cannot control the chaotic world, and as we've seen, you cannot opt out of it. But by engaging with total commitment while abandoning your obsession with the reward, you find the capacity to remain perfectly peaceful, standing dead center in life's most intense and unrelenting demands.